Alright, hello, and welcome to the second, or I guess the full release of the Terminal 7 lore video. Now, I started this video, like, almost months ago. I'm not exactly sure at the moment of this recording, but I realized I never really finished the video because I thought at the time it was really dumb to finish the video, so I decided at this point I think it would be a good time to finish this video. So, just a quick recap, because when I was recording this the first time, I was using my old microphone and Bandicam to record my audio, which was a huge mistake. So, if you recall from the last episode, or I guess when we first went over this, Luigi gets sent to Bowser's Fortress, which is literally just a prison, but it's mostly called Bowser's Fortress. Then afterwards, Luigi gets inside of a tube and goes inside a Dash Level 2 for the first Mario Brothers, even though it's literally just a sewer. Then after he gets out of the sewer, he gets thrown into the ocean, and he has to blow up an area so he can get out. So, actually we haven't talked about that yet, but if that's the case, then I'll just talk about this now. After Luigi gets out of the sewers, he makes his way into the ocean and has to blow up a piece of I don't remember, I think it was, a boat, to get out of the area where he is. There's no real lore in this area, but it is pretty cool to see the eel from Mario 64. Alright, so after that, Luigi makes his way to a carnival-like setting and meets a new enemy type. Toad. It's Toad. Now that may seem a bit weird, knowing the Mario universe, considering they're usually the good people, but it's weird because they're just zombies from Half-Life, but they look really weird. Sorry, I had to break character there for a second, but I just had to get that off my chest. So, I'm not really sure how to explain this very much, but Toads are there, and they're kind of just there to attack Luigi. And at this point, the Koopas, the Troopas, the Prince, and the others to the bridge. The Koopas have actually caught up to Luigi and try to also catch him. Goombas are also there as well, but they're not exactly as prominent as the Koopas are. There's not really, a lot to say, but keep in mind, every single level, starting the first one, had some sort of little area where it seems almost like an actual Mario level. Like, all the textures from the first two levels are all, textures from the original Mario 64 or inspired by the original Mario Brothers game. So, it's kind of weird to break that little pattern and actually make a carnival level that's fully realistic. Afterwards, Luigi, after he escapes the Coopers...
This called field of Coopers? Because I put many Koopas in level.
He makes his way to a subway and gets on a train. Well, not really a train, it's more of a sub-terminal. Anyways, while he's on there, he starts hallucinating, or everything just basically turns into an actual Mario level and is sort of reminiscent to the actual Mario levels. Usually starts out on the grassy plain and then goes to other locales, like a desert or maybe in a snow area. And there's not really much to say, aside from it's kind of weird that Luigi's sort of tripping balls here. But another thing to mention is that there is a poster of Luigi that says "Wanted" on it, which could say a lot about what's going on and how his visions actually carry into the real world. Then after Luigi gets off of the bus after tripping, he makes his way into the city. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but we'll just call it the big city for now. And, I don't know, in a weird way that makes it sort of eerie, it's called the Mushroom Kingdom. In some way that kind of uneases me, but I'm not sure about that. So afterward, Luigi makes his way around the area trying to find his original house. Now, trust me, Vinny, took a long time on this. I'm not joking. It's like almost 30 minutes spent on one section. So then finally, Luigi, or Vinny, I guess, finally finds the house and enters it. Then here comes the third, or at least, you know what, never mind. This level is really weird. So, you may be thinking, you know, a level about, you know, Luigi getting back into his house and trying to find Mario doesn't seem like a really weird idea, but everything else in this game is practically really weird by itself, so I wouldn't be surprised if you thought this wasn't weird by itself. But Luigi finally makes his way into his apartment and can't find Mario anywhere. Some things to take into account when you're watching this is Luigi's room, when you enter it, is very childlike. It's very much like what a child would have if they were to be living, you know, in an apartment room, which is kind of strange considering every cutscene with Luigi in it makes him look like he's like, I don't know, he's LeBron James or something. Another thing of note is that there is a picture on Luigi's cabinet, and if you walk up to it, Luigi says, Mario says it's a picture of me, but I don't believe him. Now, I believe that is a picture of Luigi, but in real life. The thing is, if, you know, Terminal 7 didn't catch up with Luigi, then he probably thinks of himself to look like, well, Luigi, and Mario to look like himself. So, that's my interpretation of that. And, if you make your way into the kitchen, you will find dog food for some reason. I don't know why that's there, but that's not. There is also a note on the table, and Vinny also reads this, so I'll just pass it to him.
Luigi, I understand. I should never have gone that far, but I had to. You know I had to after what you did. I know more than anybody that you couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I'm taking for granted that you're first to find this note. Heard your escape on the radio last night. Could barely believe it. The fridge should have food for a while. I know I promised BBQ. Barbecuing by the end of the month, but there's been a change of plans. You were supposed to get better. You clearly haven't. I want you to promise me one thing. Don't do anything stupid and follow our rules like normal, like before. One exception. If anyone's at the door, promise me you'll open up for them. I'm going on a business trip and you need all the help you can get. Finally, don't ever go into my room. Take care, little bro. I'll be home soon.
After another long experience of walking around, Vinny finally gets the key to the door and unlocks it. A dark and ominous hallway lines in front of him.
Mario?
Now you may be wondering, since Mario told Luigi, don't ever come into his room, what could he possibly have that he didn't want Luigi to see?
Where are you?
Luigi will find that out soon enough. After walking for a little bit and glitching the game, seriously, Vinny, what the hell is wrong with you? You're just trying to glitch the game. He finds Mario, but he's elevated.
See you a little bit, Mario. What are you doing in there, huh?
It's kind of weird in a way. The fan is spinning, and there's a lamp turned on next to his bed, and his computer is on. After walking a bit further, he realizes Mario's, well...
Is that what I think it is? Oh no! Mario! What if... Mario, what'd you do? Oh my god! No! Mario, no! Jesus Christ, this game got dark! What the fuck? What are you doing, Mario? No! Jesus fucking Christ, Mario, no, please! This wasn't supposed to be in this lighthearted Terminal 7 fan game, what the fuck?
After a bit of shock and confusion, Vinny walks towards a computer which apparently has his note on it. And I will leave him to basically talk about that.
My name is Mario, brother to Luigi. I'm a plumber and a poor one at that. I'm also dead, and my brother might not be by the time anyone reads this. If you're a concerned neighbor or just very stubborn mailman, I apologize for your inevitable therapy following the discovery of my corpse. If you're Luigi's caretakers or the police or SWAT or whatever else search team is going after him, fuck you. The hollow shell I once knew as my brother, God bless him, escaped the building. You were supposed to keep him locked into this morning. As if your mistreatment and neglect wasn't enough, I honestly thought your disgusting medical bills would be my main and only concern. You have time and time again fucked me so hard that you've robbed me of my future, everything. I cannot, and I will not deal with this torture anymore. Wherever you are, I love you, Peach. Sorry it had to go this way. The system will pay for Luigi's well-being, no one else. Goodbye, world. Jesus Christ.
So then, the only other way to go from there is, well, go back. And I guess that's sort of in a symbolic way. You're technically going back. But you shouldn't. Luigi goes back down the hallway, but you don't come out the same way that you did before. Both emotionally and figuratively, if you think about it. Instead of going outside of a door, Luigi looks like he ends up in some sort of tunnel or an abyss in some way. And he sort of, for some reason, I don't know how to explain this very well, he sees himself, and then he sees a version of himself sort of disemboweled. His guts are flying everywhere. It's very, very weird. So then after that, he falls into a hole, and then the next level appears. Finding Peach. After crashing the car, Luigi makes his way over to Peach's castle, which is basically just, the same castle from Mario 64. However, when Luigi gets closer and closer to it, he finds that it's not the same. It turns into a wooden cabin, ever so slightly when he walks towards it. Once Luigi makes his way inside, he goes downstairs, and in an amazing use of Unity, basically makes a point-and-click game. Seriously, how are you able to do this? Nuke, you are an absolute god. And after a bit of searching around, Vinny finds his way into a different room, which has a cage, a bathtub, and a table. Upon further inspection of the bathtub, he finds a skeleton. The skeleton is, well, we mostly assume that the skeleton is Princess Peach. This is further confirmed by the hallucination Luigi has once he sees it. After snooping around a little bit more, he finds a big bundle of pages. Once he finds the pages, he has another hallucination, which is the key to almost everything that's happening in the story. In Terminal 7, there are at least a few components that make the entire story so weird. The component is Terminal 7, or brain cancer, as Mario has stated. This is almost the biggest driving force for why everything is happening. Princess Peach is also another reason why everything is happening. You may be wondering why, but upon closer inspection of the hallucination that Luigi had, it seemed like he was choking her, and possibly killed her. And in Mario's note, I think you recall him saying this.
You know I had to after what you did.
So then, after witnessing this, Luigi goes insane. I'm not really joking about it. He literally does go insane. He pictures himself back into a prison cell, breaks open, fights himself, literally, and fighting a new batch of enemies. Wario's with throwing mustaches at people. And also, I'm just saying, this entire section, to me, is a representation of a mental breakdown, pretty much. So, it's not really explained, like, why Luigi's going somewhere, but we know that he's going somewhere. It doesn't explain why, but he's going somewhere. After finding some other rooms that could clue us in on certain things, he makes his way to the final area. It's only a little bit of platforming, which leads up to Mario, Luigi, and the princess, but Luigi's on an operating table. It's kind of hard to explain, but there it is. And when we reach that point, we find the final enemy. It's not a boss, it's not really even a hard enemy to beat. It's just Mario's head. It may seem like a weird thing, but he's there. After Luigi makes his way to the telephone, everything goes red. And then after blowing our minds of showing making a platformer out of the Source Engine, Luigi basically goes through level 1-1 from Mario Brothers. But, again, it's not the same. There are always little glitches that happen every now and then. And there's also a little Vinesauce reference, because, you know, they had to be one. Then, Luigi makes it to the end. He goes inside the castle, but instead of moving on to the next level, or saving the princess, he finds Mario and Dr. Mario, funnily enough. And Dr. Mario says, "Sorry, Mario, but your brother has brain cancer." In a way of basically wrapping it up. Seems very conclusive, but not really, because if you remember back to the original Mario Brothers, Toads were basically there to say, "Sorry, Mario, the princess is in another castle." This is sort of reminiscent of that, but usually the story would continue from there. But in this rendition, it doesn't, and then the credits roll. This was probably one of the weirdest videos I've ever made, but at the same time, it was probably one of the most enjoyable, mostly because of the fact that I've never done something like this, and I always felt like I probably should have. I like the idea of these type of videos, and I thought I'd try one. But I just kind of gave up on it because I realized at the time, this game is just really stupid. It's supposed to be a meme game in a way, but it sort of isn't. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like it wants to have a story, but it also doesn't at the same time. There's a story here, but it's kind of not taking itself too seriously to the point where it actually does have one. So, in general, I did like making this video. It was pretty good. I thought it was nice. So, going back to a few things. The enemies in the game are basically the biggest problem that I have with the story because they don't make that much sense. Goombas, I can explain them without making a lot of interpretation. Koopas, they make sense, but Toads, I don't understand the Toads. The Mario heads and Wario's, I can understand that because it's, you know, Luigi breaking down and he's basically fighting himself in some ways. I can understand those, but I can't understand the Goombas, aside from them being in the actual Mario game. So, that's essentially it. But, there actually is basically no reason for me to make this video, because there actually is a level, a secret level, in Terminal 7 that basically answers every single question. It's basically the true meaning of everything. And I'll just play the level for you.
Here's the hidden map. Yeah, that was the Spider-Man pizza delivery music. I have not played it, but I've seen it. Oh my god. $47 taco, what? The BuzzFeed. Yeah, step right up. Come on, you know, time to do Mario time. Come inside to Mario Park. Do the Mario time. Come down to Mario. Go on inside. We've got the Death Star. Come to see the Toad.
Our fucking teacher said, Postman drawing.
Puts me dick!